Today, we're not just doing fried chicken, we're doing chicken fried chicken.
Oh, tender chicken cutlets, fried to perfection and topped with a cream gravy to die for.
This is Southern comfort at its best.
Oh, and good gravy is that gravy good.
Good gravy, you're right. I'm telling you. Fried chicken and gravy are just a match made in heaven.
Oh, and this is chicken fried chicken, which I love because I don't have to deal with any bones.
I know. Everyone's like, what is chicken fried chicken? We'll talk about that in just a moment. Okay, let's talk chicken.
Yeah, so we've got 4 chicken breasts here, thin chicken breasts. It's actually 2, but Chris went ahead and he took each one and he butterflied it, and then he opened it up and cut all the way through, and then he wanted to get those a little thinner than what they were, so he put them into a plastic baggie and gave them a couple of poundins. And now we've got 4 where there was 2.
You don't want those big giant cutlets where you get like in the store. Those are too big. A lot of times you can find thin cutlets that are already, thin like that. But it's so easy just to slice them and do like what we did.
Yeah, and really, it's all about the batter.
And that gravy, good gravy.
The gravy.
Okay, so you're
so I'm going to season these up. I don't want to put a lot of salt on these because Chris is going to salt
The batter's going to be seasoned with salt and pepper.
Yeah.
But those could use a little salt. So okay, speaking of batter,
I'm just going to do a little bit.
Yeah, let's make the batter. So we've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of corn starch, and that is one of those little secret ingredients that helps make it really crunchy. You want these babies to be crunchy when you bite into them. They're just a crisp, crunchy. Now we need to add some seasonings. Here we've got a teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of smoked paprika, which is going to give a flavor boost. And then I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. That doesn't make it like really hot, but it gives it just a little bit of a kick. If you don't want any kick, then you can just leave that out. If you want extra kick, then do a full teaspoon or more. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, a teaspoon of black pepper. Now we're going to want to get this nice, fully combined, and we're just doing this. You're going to set up a little dredging station. So since the day we've been frying things, which I think since I was 2, I've always done them in a baking dish. They just work. They're just a perfect vessel for it. So, okay, you done? All right,
I'm ready.
Now let me make the wet mixture. This is a cup of buttermilk. Buttermilk and fried chicken are made for each other.
Yes.
And then we've got 1 egg that's lightly beaten. And then another flavor boost, I've got a teaspoon of hot sauce. This is our Cholula hot sauce.
Yes.
You could use Louisiana, you could use Tabasco. And don't worry, it looks like, wow, that's going to be hot. It's not.
So this is the same, this is in the same genre of our chicken fried steak, which is world famous because Chris made it on Guy's Grocery Game and went to the next level.
That's right. He loved it. Guy loved it. So now we're jumped to go ahead and put that in there.
Oh, so we're doing flour.
We're going to do flour, then we're going to no. I've got a little trick. Like I said, we want this to be extra kind of craggy is the way we call it, which means it's going to have little just chunks of crispiness all over it. So the way we do that is we take about 5 tablespoons of my wet batter.
I'm going to get the salt and pepper out of here just in case you get crazy.
In case I get craggy.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to don't overdo it. You want them to just kind of form little clumps. And those clumps, then we're going to stick to that batter. And so
they get extra crunchy on the outside.
They get them that extra crunch. That's what we love. Okay. So anyway, that's good. Let's do that. So now I'll talk a little more about chicken fried steak. Chicken fried steak, if you don't know, is I grew up in Texas. It's a staple down here. I don't know. I think it originated in Texas. It's basically just a thin piece of meat, an inexpensive piece, like a cube steak, often tenderized, and you just do what you're doing right here. You batter it, and then you deep fry it. And if you've never tried it, you're probably thinking, when we used to live up in the Northeast, people would say, that just sounds gross. Wait till you have it, and you do it with the gravy. It all just comes together,
It's magical.
And you do it with then you serve it with some mashed potatoes and some fried okra, and good heavens, are you in heaven? So that's why the term chicken fried chicken.
Yes.
That's where that came from. It's because you're basically doing it just like chicken fried steak. Okay, so now we're going to continue doing this with these remaining cutlets until we get them fully coated. And you want to put them on a rack like that.
Yeah, you want to let them rest.
Let them rest, so then they will.
Ooh, those are some big cutlets.
They are some big. Well, we're doing serious chicken, fried chicken.
I love this.
I do too. I mean, it's Texas, so you go big or go home. So we're going to go ahead and get these nicely battered, kind of get excess shaken off, and then we're going to let these rest. And you want to let them rest for, say, 10 to 15 minutes while we're getting our oil heated up to around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, because then we are going to fry these babies up. Okay, it's fry time. So we've got our oil here. I'm going to talk about this in just a moment. So I'm using my large cast iron skillet. Okay, go ahead.
Ready.
Very carefully lower that in. You don't want to splatter hot oil anywhere. Maybe don't have the kids around for this.
No, or pets.
And we're working in batches here, so we're going to do these. If you can fit 2 in there, great. Watch your hands.
I got it.
And
there we go.
And so just safety thing, you want to, so we're doing our skillet. We've got vegetable oil in here. Fill your skillet no more than halfway. If you fill it too high, you're going to get overflowage, and that's never good. So I'm going to tell you a little something about the oil and about the way this method of doing this. So
the method of using a skillet instead of a deep fryer.
Well, yes. So as Wesley mentioned, I was on Guy's Groceries game, and I prepared. There's a whole story, like what you have to decide on what you're making and the things you have to do to make it, and the secret ingredients and all that. It's
in like 5 seconds.
Crazy intense, but it was fun. But anyway, but I did the fried steak, and I did like a fancy ribeye, and it turned out good. And I made the cream gravy, and all of the judges really liked it. But we only had, like they have, in our little kitchen station, a big deep fryer. And so I breaded it, and then I dropped it in the deep fryer. Thinking, oh, that's fine. And they turned out really, really great. But Carl, who was one of the judges, who God bless his soul, is no longer with us, mentioned to me, and I sort of, this made sense to me, and I knew, but he said, see those little crackles, see the craggies right there?
Yay!
Okay, now we're gonna turn these over, and it's starting to get nice and golden, and I'm gonna crank. Now, when you put this in the oil, it's gonna immediately lower the temperature, so you kind of adjust.
Good, Chris.
They look really good. So anyway, so he said when you drop them into a deep fryer, you run the risk of, have you ever had like fried chicken or something fried and the breading comes away from the meat? He said
exactly. It falls away and you have meat left.
You got meat and you got skin. It's still good. By doing it this way, the weight of the steak kind of just is sitting on the bottom of the pan. You got to be careful because it can burn, but it helps that breading adhere to the meat. And so and then they said we love it, by the way, and I made it to the next round. So anyway, that's a whole other story. But so now we're going to continue to cook this. Like I said, you want to kind of flip it every now and then, because if you leave it too long, it may start to get a little overly brown on the bottom. But we're going to cook these until they are just golden perfection.
Nice.
And that probably can take anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. Aren't these beautiful, golden and gorgeous? So I'm using just a metal spatula and a pair of tongs, just whatever you can easily flip these. And I also, just to kind of help the frying along, a lot of times I'll get a metal spoon and just spoon some of the hot oil over the top.
That's right.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Wow.
So, and I don't think I mentioned back when I was fascinating you with my story about Guy's Grocery Game. We did we're at good temperature. Okay. You want to get that back to a 350, and it's back at 350.
Okay.
We did a double breading. We did the flour, and then I put it in the wet, and then we put it back in the flour because that's going to give it that extra crunch. It's all about that crunch.
There we go.
It's
all about that crunch.
Crunch. I'm going to get that in there.
Get that in there.
And so now we are going to do the same thing to these. We've got a low temperature oven that we're going to keep these warm in until we get these done. Then we make gravy, and then we eat. Good gravy. Okay, so we got our chicken, keep it nice and warm and crispy in the oven.
Nicely.
So excited. Okay, now let's make some quick pan cream gravy. So I have got just a medium-sized skillet here over medium heat, and we're going to utilize that delicious oil. We need a fat to make.
Oh, look at that. I want a little of these crunchies. Sorry.
Get some of the crunchies. But there's so much flavor in that oil.
How much do I give you?
Hold that whole quarter. So
okay, I got to come in here twice.
You do it twice. That's fine. So you're going to use a quarter cup of the oil that you used from your frying.
Well, there's some crunchies.
We call those the drippings.
I'm gonna go 3 times.
Yeah, that's fine. And then
Why'd you give me such a little thing?
because that's a quarter cup. So anyway, you just, we're being silly with this, but you want a quarter cup of that. And then we're going to add, if you don't have those drippings available to you, any kind of fat will do. You could use, I often, if you save your bacon grease, that makes some good gravy. You could do butter, you could do vegetable oil. You just need something to make a right. So this is making that beautiful roux. Now you're going to want to cook this for about a minute because you want that flour taste to cook out, and but not too long. You don't want it to become like a dark roux.
Right.
This is a blonde roux.
Yes, we're not doing etouffee or something.
Or a gumbo. Okay, so now that is good. So now it's helpful if you have a loom to kind of assist you in this.
That's right.
Because as this goes, this is 2 cups of just good old quality whole
go
milk.
slow with this.
That's okay. You don't go so slow that it's.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
All right.
And then
Is that a good go?
Yeah, that's a good go.
Yeah.
And it's also, this is, if you've got your milk at room temperature, that's good. It kind of helps reduce the clumps. You may get some lumps, and you're gonna, you'll probably see some lumps at first. That's why we whisk. We just want to get those lumps out of there. That's good.
Why we whisk.
That's why we whisk. That's one of the many reasons why we love to whisk. Okay, so now that looks good. That's good and smooth. Now I'm going to add some. See, it's so easy.
So easy and so amazing.
This is a teaspoon. This is adobo seasoning. You can use whatever kind of seasoning you like. I just like the flavor of adobo in this. And then this is cream gravy. It just screams for black pepper. I'm using a good hefty teaspoon of crushed black pepper. And then kind of go easy on the salt because there's going to be some salt from there. And then you can always taste and then decide if you want to add more a little bit later. And now we're just going to continue to cook this. And it's going to get so creamy.
If you serve fried okra with this,
Which
you
you
gotta put some gravy on your okra.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And you
Try
got
Chris's fried okra. That's good okra.
and you've got to you got to have the
gotta have
mashed
some
potatoes.
mashed potatoes.
We made some mashed potatoes earlier. We got the recipe for that.
But we didn't fry any okra.
Well, no, I know. But
Next time.
Next time for sure. The last time I made this for you, I fried up a
Yes,
batch.
you did.
That's good. There are all kinds of, just your traditional southern sides are good. So anyway, this is also good. You can, we're just killing time here as this thickens. You can also, I use this gravy and I put some little breakfast sausage in it, and that makes the most amazing biscuits and gravy.
That is one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
It's Mother's Day, actually, when you're watching this. So this gravy can go on biscuits, or you can make this chicken for your mom.
Yeah, mom.
Be good to your mom.
Be good to your mom. Your mom will be forever grateful, and you should be forever grateful to her. Okay, you see how this is thickening up lovely?
Okay.
So this is we're really just about there. We're gonna let this kind of just cook for a little bit longer.
I'm gonna get our chicken ready.
We're gonna get the chicken ready. If it gets too thick on you, I always have a little extra cream on the side. But you should be golden. Look at this. Okay.
I know. I'm dying.
Let's do it. It is time to get down with it. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful fried chicken.
Wow.
Okay, you guys. All right. Now we got those are my
bring it on over.
Buttery mashed potatoes.
Sorry, you talking and I'm talking.
Okay, that is beautiful.
Those buttery mashed potatoes.
You want to make yourself a little reservoir in those potatoes because they are going to want this. I'm going to just come.
You guys. Oh, hello, lover. Look at that.
I mean, is that not a thing of beauty?
That's
did
gorgeous.
You just salivate?
I did.
I did. Okay, so now I'm going to make my own. And you want to have plenty of, we love, I don't know, the pepper just is delicious in this. So we have plenty of black pepper. We got our black pepper grinder. Here
let me put some on. Oh, look at this. I'm dying.
You guys.
All right, some black pepper. I need black pepper. You need some black pepper?
Yes, please. Here in the States, there's a popular chain called Cracker Barrel. They're kind of known for their chicken fried steak and their chicken fried chicken. They ain't got
no, I'm afraid not.
Well,
I go to anytime we go someplace and they serve chicken or whatever, chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
I will never get it. Because I know that my husband makes
that's awfully kind of you. Oh, that chicken is so
tender. You guys,
tender.
look at that. I'm trying to cut this so you guys can see all the goodness of the
there you go.
Crunch going on. You guys, look at that.
Gravy too. Oh, that looks good. It's perfectly cooked.
I'm just trying to get at it. I'm just gonna do everything.
You're gonna do a big old bite.
I know, I am. Okay. Chris!
Never fails.
Ready?
Yeah. The crunch.
I gotta tell you guys,
You can tell them.
it's wonderful. Ew. That is Southern through and through.
So when you're watching this, it's Mother's Day. When we're filming this, it happens to be our 34-year wedding anniversary.
Yay! And look, that's why we got flowers here.
I know. So this is like a special Feeding the Loon episode for us too. So, oh my goodness, you guys.
Chris's mom and dad gave us those flowers. So sweet.
So sweet.
Oh,
So
all right.
make this, and you're. Oh yeah, you got some business to do.
This is a trillion% Loon approved. It is so good. Oh, I'm dying. It
really is good, you guys. It's the essence of fried chicken, but without the bones.
Exactly. But the batter, I love
And the
this
batter, and you don't have the skin, but you don't need the skin. You've got this, you got this, guys.
It is so good. You guys, I'm gonna eat all of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we
it's
love
my
you.
anniversary.
That's right, it's our anniversary. We love you guys. Thank you for your support and your love. We love you more than you can possibly know. Make chicken fried chicken, and you'll never make it any other way again.